YouTube? Today we're going to be continuing to use the invitational teams with Paul Ruiz's third place Xerneas team. Now, I haven't been a huge fan of playing Xerneas this format. It feels like it's a lot difficult because of Zacian, Rillaboom, Reggie Alaki's even a threat, Urshifu hitting through Protect as well. It makes it harder to set up Xerneas. But Paul had an amazing showcasing, masterfully playing a lot of positions and getting Xerneas into fantastic positions. And if there was one set I thought Xerneas might have been better in this format, it would be the substitute Xerneas. And I'm really happy to see that Paul was able to pilot this team really well in the invitational. But as always, if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below and leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And you can check out my social medias down below, such as my Twitter, Instagram, and my Twitch channel, where you can give those a follow. But yeah, let's get started with today's video. All right, it looks like we're matching up a Players Cup matchup. This is the Santi's team. It looks like Kyogre, Serena, Rillaboom, the Weavile, Tornadus, and Urshifu. So a little bit scary. I'm thinking I go Incineroar plus my Amoonguss. It was probably, I think, Paul's best lead against this team, and it was the lead I think he used to win the game, which is pretty impressive. I think that's probably the best lead I have here. Xerneas and Rillaboom back. I really gotta respect the Weavile in this matchup. Weavile is a very scary Pokemon because of the fact that Triple Axle does so much damage to the members, which is why I want to lead Incineroar here for the big Intimidate. So we'll see how this goes, because I gotta get Weavile in check, and then afterward I have to make sure that I at least get chip damage on the Kyogre, if not a Spore into Kyogre. So, and then Xerneas can probably set up, but even then it's going to be difficult to set up because I need to preserve Incineroar as well. So there's a lot I have to preserve. Rillaboom is probably the most expendable Pokemon here, and that's kind of weird saying that against a Kyogre team, but it is the most expendable member. It's definitely the one that I can sacrifice, assuming I have the conditions built up. So we need to build up the conditions for Xerneas right here with keeping Incineroar around and something to check Kyogre. If not check Kyogre, we at least need to get Geomancy up healthily while having Incineroar around. So that's basically the goal. So Rillaboom isn't the most necessary member, especially with Pollen Puff on the Amoonguss. So let's see how this is going to go. We're going to see the Serena plus Tornadus lead. All right. Which isn't a bad lead for me. I don't know what they exactly go for here. I'm a little bit worried about what they exactly go for here. I don't think they U-turn here, but I do think they might taunt or triple axle immediately. I want to go for a parting shot right off the bat into Torn, and I'm kind of tempted to go out into Xerneas because I can heal it with Amoonguss the next turn, I think. Yes, I'm going to do that. I don't want Hurricane into triple axle. Like, I do have Cobble Berry, but I don't think it's worth it here to take so much damage, especially since I'm unsure of the calc. So we'll go Xerneas here, Fairy Aura, and we're going to see Rain Dance immediately, which I'm a bit surprised about, but I think they're trying to cover for the Flare Blitz. So I guess they're just going to stay in and go for Taunt, which is a fair play. All right. They do go for the Taunt, which is fine. I don't need to set up Geomancy yet. I will Parting Shot out into Torn. I wonder what the last two is. It has to be Kyogre for sure. Probably Rillaboom, I'd imagine. But I have no clue right now. So we get to go out into Amoonguss right here. And yeah, this is probably an okay spot. I could just fire off Moonblast very safely. I don't think there's a big problem with that. So I didn't want to fire off a Moonblast. Probably into Serena. Am I really that worried about the Torn? Torn is a little bit scary, but I feel like Serena's scarier because it's just preventing my priority. I think I'm going to double up Serena attempt right here with Moonblast plus Pollen Puff for chip. It's not really good switching for my opponent either, so we get a big powerful Moonblast off. My Xerneas is actually faster than the Torn. So is it Modest Torn? I actually thought it was Timitorn when I was playing it. Okay. Citrus Berry going to activate for the Serena. Let's see what comes out here. It's going to be Hurricane into the Cobble Berry Amoonguss, which is fine. Because as you can see, I take it pretty well. And we're going to see the Serena go for the triple axle double up. Okay. So with the Intimidate from Incineroar, we are going to be able to survive this. And nice, they only hit 2 times, which is great. I do go for the Pollen Puff into the Serena, and that does a good amount of damage, and Serena can't protect either. So this is a pretty good position. I can go out into Incineroar right here for an Intimidate once again, preserve this Amoonguss, and I'm going to go for the Moonblast. I think I'm going to target down this Serena as well. If they want to go for Tailwind, that's fine because Serena either goes down here or somebody in the back takes a Moonblast, which is pretty big. I guess Rillaboom coming in is a little bit annoying, but I do have good pivots to Rillaboom with my own Rillaboom and Amoonguss still decently healthy, so should be okay. We'll go on Incineroar. They also would have to be cautious of me going for a Spore here because I don't think Hurricane knocks my Amoonguss out at this stage I'm at. They go for the Tailwind, makes sense. And what's the Serena gonna do? Gonna go for the U-turn. Okay, that's fine. As I mentioned before, I get a decent Moonblast hit off into the Serena slot. If they go Kyogre, pretty big deal that I get the Moonblast chip damage off. If they go Rillaboom, still okay. The problem is the Torn is taking a bit. We do see the Rillaboom. Okay, fine. I get a good amount into Rillaboom, and I can protect the Xerneas the following turn. So this is okay. I don't know if I want to Geomancy yet, but this is pretty good. Especially that damage is beautiful into the Rillaboom. That is some beautiful damage. All right. Now we want to go for Parting Shot and Protect. The Taunt wear off was perfect timing. We go for the Protect right here with our Xerneas. And we'll go out into our... Well, let's see who comes out here. It's going to be the Kyogre, Serena, which makes sense. So I wonder if they're going to U-turn out into the Kyogre, if they're just going to fake out the Xerneas so I can't Geomancy, because they do have to stop that as well. We're going to see Knockoff to prevent my Geomancy. Makes sense. And then we get a Parting Shot off, which is huge. Okay, so that's a big Parting Shot off into Rillaboom. And then we go out into... Probably we go out into Amoonguss right here. I could also go Rillaboom. I don't know if I want to make that play. I think Rillaboom makes sense for positioning. Yeah, I'm going to go Rillaboom for positioning. Because I can go Incineroar here. And as long as I don't get crit by Triple Axle or the U-turn that's coming out, I should be okay. So there should be U-turn into their Serena and Incin once again for the Intimidate. Again, we're trying to focus down to Serena. If they go Torn, I get Chip, which is still very doable. The Chip should put in range of Moonblast 100% of the time now. And yeah, this is still pretty okay of a position. If they get in Torn plus Ogre, it should still be fine. The only problem is I don't have an immediate threat into Kyogre, so I do have to be a little bit careful of that. But Amoonguss should still be pretty healthy to deal with it. I do want to get Grass Knot damage into the Kyogre if possible. The problem is I did eat up my Copa Berry early, and then the Torn, if it comes in, will be reset with its from Parting Shot earlier, which means Hurricane's going to do a lot more, so I do got to be cautious of that. The Triple Axle going to come out. Rillaboom Voids, getting a bit lucky with those, and knock off into the Incineroar, which is okay. That is my safety goggles, which doesn't change anything in this matchup. And I got to get rid of the Serena, which is huge. They gave up Serena. That means now I have the room to go for Fake Out. And yeah. Question is what do I want to go out into? I'm thinking Amoonguss here, actually. The reason I want to go Amoonguss here is the Torn and Kyogre don't have Protect, so this is a free Fake Out Spore into that slot. So we'll go out into Amoonguss. I don't want to go into Xerneas because the fact is that they can still knock on my Xerneas to stop Geomancy, which means it's pretty worthless to go into Xerneas right now. Not the time to set up Geomancy yet. So really good. We got rid of Serena. That's a huge pain because that's a Grassy Glide and it's stopping my Fake Out. And now I can Fake Out. I can go for Spore. And this team does not have Protect on anything. So this is beautiful. Oh, Torn is going to come out. We go for Fake Out Spore into that slot. And we'll be in a very safe position. So we go for Spore here. We go for Fake Out. And Torn won't even eat up a turn of sleep, which is fantastic. And then if Rillaboom U-turns out into the Kyogre, we can go for Grass Knot or Spore if we really want to into the Kyogre slot as well. We can go out into our Rillaboom as well. So we're in a phenomenal spot right here. Kyogre is going to come in as we do go for the Fake Out into Torn. And here comes the Spore. Unless this was I think this was Walking Berry, so Spore was guaranteed. Unless it's Lum. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. We want to keep Incineroar around because we do want that Intimidate for Rillaboom because it does actually matter. We'll go for Grass Knot or Spore here. I want to go for Spore. Because Grass Knot damage into Rillaboom's very negligible. And then we go Rillaboom here to take the Water Spout. Worst case is Ice Beam Freeze here, but then I could probably set up Xerneas Geomancy. So bring out the Rillaboom. We are going to see the Water Spout. We will survive. And now this is the perfect time to set up a Geomancy situation. This is the perfect time to set up a Geomancy situation. So we Spore the Kyogre. It's going to go to sleep. And now, what do I want to do here specifically? Because the Torn is still threatening Hurricane. It should be fine. Our grassy terrain ends, which is a little bit annoying, but I'll reset it. I think I'm going to go out into Xerneas here. Let me think, because there is potential of me screwing up here. I think we go for Grass Knot into Kyogre, and I think we go for a Fake Out, actually. No, we go for U-turn, actually. We double up the Kyogre slot. Yeah, we just double up the Kyogre slot. If they swap out, it's fine. Yeah, into Rillaboom. I go back into Instant, or I could go into Xern. Instead of the Geomancy. So yeah, this is completely fine with the situation. Let's see if Torn wakes up. It does. Okay. That's for the Hurricane into the Amoonguss. Amoonguss will probably faint here. It does, but that is, again, as I said before, completely okay of a situation right here. We'll go to our Xerneas and Incineroar, and we'll click Fake Out Geomancy, just like the good old times. Just like the good old times. We'll go Xerneas here and Incineroar. And the Kyogre is still taking a turn to sleep, so we are in a fantastic spot. The only problem is if we get crit. If we get crit, that's annoying, but one Grassy Glide crit won't knock me out. We go Instant here. And we'll still have pretty good pressure overall, especially because Kyogre is asleep and hasn't taken a turn to sleep at all yet. So Incineroar with the Intimidate. There is no Tailwind, right? They never clicked Tailwind, they only clicked Hurricane. Yep, so I can Fake Out and I can Geo. And then next turn, I'll probably just pivot around even more just to make sure that I'm like guaranteed to win this. Yeah, because I can protect Parting Shot, which is really safe unless I get like Hurricane confused over and over again. Rillaboom going to swap, which is fine. That actually probably just secures the game at this point because again, the Kyogre hasn't taken a turn of sleep yet. We Fake Out the Torn, which doesn't have Taunt, but we want to prevent Hurricane confusion. Or the Torn going for Tailwind. Immediately, and then Rillaboom going for knockoff, but it wouldn't have mattered because I Fake Out a slot anyway. Xerneas will Geomancy up. It's about time, Xerneas. It's about time. Alright, Xerneas gets a boost. Absolutely huge. And we'll go for a Parting Shot into the Kyogre slot, and we'll Moonblast the Torn slot. I could also sub here. Because realistically, they're just going to Tailwind, I think. I'm going to sub, actually, yeah. Sub sounds pretty good here. Yeah, because they're going to Tailwind. And since if I remember the speed tiers right, Xern was faster than Torn originally. I think we saw that earlier, so this should be pretty safe of a sub. So I avoid Water Spout crit screwing me over. So we Parting Shot out into the Kyogre. Just gotta play it safe. I think this is the safest way I can win. We go Rillaboom here. Then we click Fake Out into Kyogre. We click Moonblast into Torn, and I think that should secure the game. Rain also stops, even better for me, I guess. Yeah, there's no way I think for my opponent to win at this stage of the game. I'm gonna Fake Out the Torn. I just Grassy Glide here to Kyogre. It's locked. It's not locked into move actually, but like the Scald is not doing any damage if that is the move that they choose. I just Moonblast the Torn. They're gonna probably swap to Rillaboom, yeah, which is fine because again, this doesn't change anything. Especially if they can't break my sub, they have to hit an inaccurate Hurricane too. You go for Rain Dance, doesn't change anything. I almost thought about U-turning, but it just seemed like unnecessary. So So we will go for the Grassy Glide into the Rillaboom. Thank you for the extra boost. We do go for the Moonblast here into Torn. That is one. And now it's Kyogre, Rillaboom versus the world. We have Instant in the back. We just go to Instant and Protect here because there's no setup that my opponent can do here. Because there is one way my opponent could probably win. And it's really unlikely too. They have to catch me right. Actually, if I Grassy Glide to Kyogre and Moonblast it, there's probably no way for my opponent to win either. Yeah, that's actually a safe play too. But I think another safe play is just to go Instant and have Fake Out Pressure. Yeah, I like it. I'm just gonna Protect and go Instant. I think it's a safer play. There is like an aggressive play where I Moonblast Grassy Glide, but I think the Instant just gives me 100% win. While the other one, I feel like there's like a super slight chance that I could lose. What would have to happen? It would have to be like Fake Out into real. I guess it wouldn't change much. Yeah, it really wouldn't change much. At the end of the day, I think I had to win. I think the game was over when I just got the spores off. Amoonguss just able to set up. It took a little bit of time to set up, but that's basically the way you play with Xerneas, especially in this kind of format where like there's a lot of offensive presence with Kyogre, Zacian, Calyrex stuff. So you got to take it a little bit slow. Got to find times for Xerneas to be healthy, and you got to keep the members that you absolutely need in check. Luckily, we were able to get a lot of pressure onto the opponent early on with some Intimidate onto the Serena. The parting shot off into Torn was absolutely huge, and then Amoonguss was able to come in safely, start sporing, and it ended up being really just getting that Xerneas in at the right time, and that's what we did to win that game, which was really nice. All right, we got Eddie here. Wow, they're pretty high up. They're in the top 100 with Yveltal, Ninetales, the Arctozolt, I think that's the Pokemon, Whimsicott, Urshifu, and did I miss a Pokemon? I feel like I said everything. I think Entei, but I feel like I said Entei. Well, it doesn't really change much. So, really interesting team. Their Incineroar matchup plus Xerneas doesn't look great though. So this looks like a good matchup for these Pokemon. So what do I want to go exactly? I feel like I do actually want to just lead off Xerneas plus Incineroar. There is a problem of their lead of Entei. They lead Entei or Shifu. That's really annoying. But I have no idea what they lead. I guess I don't expect them to lead Draco. I don't think they're going to go... What do I expect them to lead? I actually think Urshifu Instin's the best play with Rillaboom Xerneas. The reason is I don't expect them to lead Hail. If they do, it's fine. But I don't expect them to lead Hail. I'm thinking they bring Whimsicott, Yveltal, Entei, and Urshifu. But I could be absolutely wrong. But they just don't have good Xerneas answers on their team either, so I feel like it has to be Whimsicott. They need like Tailwind Pressure or something. I don't know what the set on Entei is, but it could have Roar, so I do have to watch out for that. So let's see. That's why I want to lead off Urshifu. They do lead Ninetales plus Entei, which is really good for me because I do have Fake Out Pressure, and Surging Strikes is a pretty good hit right here. So the question is, what target do I want to go for? I feel like Ninetales is actually the Pokemon because I could see Entei switching out into something that I probably don't think I need the damage on personally. Probably it'd be their own Urshifu. That's what I'm thinking right now, which is why I want to Fake Out the Ninetales, prevent the Aurora Veil or Freeze Dry that could come out here, and I'm going to Surging Strikes the Ninetales. Let's see if the Entei switches out on Urshifu like I expect. The Ninetales is not what I expected, so we do see the Entei retreat or Shifu or Whimsicott maybe? Whimsicott, yeah. So good thing I went for Surging Strikes into Ninetales because that's actually pretty big. Get the damage to protect is amazing here. So did they not bring... I don't know what their Shifu is. I'd imagine it's probably water. It could be dark too, which is why they might not have brought it. Surging Strikes does a ton of damage to the Ninetales. Very nice damage. Okay. They might get the Aurora Veil up if they want to, but that's fine. Whimsicott's Focus Sash is broken if they had Focus Sash. I kind of doubt it was, though. I think I just get a free Flare Blitz into Whimsicott, and I get to go out into Rillaboom here. I'm really liking the end game of how it's looking like Urshifu next to Xerneas to win. So we bring out the Rillaboom. We get Flare Blitz right here into the Whimsicott. I don't think they can afford to switch out Whimsicott either because they need pressure against the Urshifu. Tailwind's gonna come out. I'm imagining Freeze Dry coming out here. Let's see. Encore. Oh, it's Encore on that slot. I was like, I'm safe against Encore from Whimsicott, but not the Ninetales. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. That's actually kind of annoying, yeah. Because I'm forced to either stay in with Incineroar or take damage on my Xerneas with a big Fairy Aura boosted Moonblast, but I do think I have to trade here. I don't know if Ninetales protects or not. I'm going to glide anyway, the Ninetales. I think it's just safer. Even if Ninetales switches out, I still get a decent hit off. I was thinking of U-turning this slot, but I didn't know if U-turn KO'd. Entei going to come out, okay. We'll bring out Xerneas. I wonder if this is double Encore on the team. Get a glide off, which is pretty huge. Because chip damage on Entei is nice as well. We do see the Moonblast come out into my Xerneas. It's Fairy Aura boosted. Not that much, actually. Okay. So Moonblast into Stone Edge, if they have it, if they read... I feel like they could read this. I feel like the swap is so predictable that they might read me going for Incin, and they might go aggressive here with the Moonblast. Well, I feel like Incin switch is super obvious, and the Incin's really important in the matchup for whatever's in the back. But Rillaboom's, is Rillaboom that important? Rillaboom's only important if I don't have Xerneas to check their Urshifu, if it's their water Urshifu. So I think I can actually play aggressive here. I think I'm actually going to go for a double up into the Xerneas with Grassy Glide plus Moonblast. Let's see if this pays off. I'm expecting a read here. They're pretty high up on ladder, which is why I want to make an aggressive read here. Let's see if it works. Heat Wave, it's special Entei. Not what I expected. Specs. And Moonblast, which won't pick up a knockout. They do tire down the Rillaboom. Dang it, Incin was just a safe play. It was just a safe play to go Incin. Oh, dang it. Oh, well. I get rid of Whimsicott, though. Huge. They don't have Tailwind anymore, and Urshifu's looking really good in the end game. I also kept my Rillaboom, which is huge against their Urshifu. I don't know what their back Pokemon is. If it's Yveltal and it comes out now, I'm fine. I'll go... Yeah, it's fine. Thankfully, Max Speed Xerneas is actually kind of clutch here. Let's see what they decide to go out into. It is the Yveltal back. Okay. So I don't need Urshifu anymore. I can sack Urshifu. I'll go for the U-turn. Actually, no. I'll go for Protect. Let's glide the Yveltal slot, because we want this free switch here. Let's hope Yveltal doesn't have a way to set up. Go for Grassy Glide. Every bit of damage puts it in guaranteed Moonblast range. If it's not Assault Vest, here comes Heat Wave. We'll pick up a knockout into the Rillaboom. I think that's Spags. I don't think it's Scarf. If it was Scarf, it would have done less, because Entei doesn't have a high special attack stat. There is a Oblivion Wing right there. Oh, now this is a question mark, because I don't know if Moonblast KOs the Yveltal. But I think if I Geomancy, I'm safe in the long term. So I'm going to Urshifu. The question is, do I Geomancy here or not? Or do I just click Moonblast? I feel like Geomancy is safe. No Tailwind. Yeah, I think I Geomancy here. Because if it is Assault Vest Yveltal, I think it's the play. They are going to retreat Entei. This should be Ninetales. I could have doubled. I was thinking of U-turn Moonblast, or potentially just going for a Searching Strikes Moonblast double up into the Yveltal, but I did not think it was worth it. And since it's special Entei, I don't think they can win there. They're going to Oblivion Wing to get back health, but we'll see. Also, it really comes down to how fast this is Yveltal, because this Yveltal, if it speed ties with my Xerneas, that's a yikes. Oh, that is the case. And they get to knock out. I mean, it's... Oh, it's Life Orb. Okay. I think the big question is, can Entei do anything that screws me over here? Because I could fake out into Surging Strikes to Yveltal. Wait, was I timid or was I modest? I think I was timid. Oh, I'm not timid. I'm not max speed. Okay. So Life Orb was probably the way to KO'd. All right. So Entei is going to come back in. This is close. This is really close. It comes down to the Entei set of like, does it have like a tech move? Like if it specs Bulldoze, that's actually really frustrating for me. Because I really want to click Fake Out Surging Strikes twice into Yveltal. But then again, Entei is going to do a lot of damage to Urshifu, but it shouldn't pick up a knockout. What if it has Hyper Beam? You know what? I think it's better to target Entei. I'm just worried about random Hyper Beam. I'll fake out the Yveltal. I do a good of damage to it with the crit. Here comes Surging Strikes into the Entei, which will pick up a knockout. I'm just worried about random Hyper Beam just knocking out my Urshifu. And yes, that would make amazing. That would make an amazing thumbnail. But I think overall, I think I'll take this chance win. Hail stops here? No. Hail got reset. Yeah, so Surging Strikes into Flare Blitz here. Unfortunately, I actually don't know who wins this 1v1 because the Yveltal has Life Orb, so it's doing a lot more damage. I am going to Flare Blitz though and Surging Strikes. It is my best play. Like they're going to heal so much from Oblivion Wing. But we'll see. Surging Strikes. I'm just hoping Incineroar can out damage this Yveltal. Okay, Surging Strikes. Don't think, yeah, it's not taking the knockout. It's going to heal like about above half probably. And then it's going to take the Life Orb chip. And then there's Hail. All right, this is close. Oblivion Wing into Urshifu will pick up a knockout. All right. And how much does Flare Blitz do? And then how much does Oblivion Wing do to the Incineroar afterward? Yeah, I missed a knockout. No burn. All right, how much do you heal from Oblivion Wing? You're not healing nearly as much as you did with Urshifu, but you're still going to do a lot to the Incineroar because this is Oblivion Wing Life Orb boosted. So Oblivion Wing comes out from the Yveltal once again. And I need to KO this turn because I'm going to feint to recoil otherwise. So it's taking Life Orb chip here and then also Hail. I think I should finish it off. Let's see. Oh, that was close. A crit, even for good measure, I don't think it mattered. Especially since I think it would have been way too close where Hail would have finished it off. I think Hail was still active for one more turn. Oh, man, that gamble did not pay off. That one gamble where I thought, oh, they're going to read... Because I thought it was physical Entei with like Stone Age or something. The reason I thought that is because I felt like they would have had something specific for Incineroar there. But no, it just ended up going for Specs Heat Wave and changed the game completely. But yeah, that was crazy. Wonder if it went for Eruption, how much the game would have changed. I mean, I would have taken... I don't think it would change. Oh, I don't know if he actually knocked out Rillaboom there with Eruption after the chip. I feel like it's more powerful than Heat Wave still though. And if it did, that would have been a nightmare. Actually, no, if it did... No, if it did, that would have actually been a nightmare, but we survived. That was a crazy team. No Arctozolt, unfortunately. We got to see the Ninetales though. They didn't do anything other than Encore my instant, I guess. Now, I wasn't sure of how to play that team. I was just playing pretty safe for the most part. I didn't expect Encore and Ninetales. That definitely did throw me off guard though, because my plan was... At least I got to read right with the Entei switching out turn 1, and I was able to get big damage off in the Ninetales and weaken it, which was absolutely huge. But yeah, just wasn't able to put myself in a good position against Whimsicott. Luckily, it just wasn't doing that much damage, fortunately. Slowly came back I thought my Xerneas was max speed, so I didn't actually expect Yveltal to be that much of a threat, but it ended up being Timid Life Orb Yveltal, probably max speed, and it just ended up changing the game immensely. Because I was planning to rely on Xerneas to deal with it, but luckily I had a lot of damage outputs to deal with it, thankfully. And that is going to be the end of today's video. Xerneas is still really strong of a Pokemon, and you have to respect it, but it's really about playing patience right now in this format, because it's really hard to set up Xerneas properly. There are a lot of games I've noticed where Xerneas really likes to take it on the back foot, and you want to set up with things like Incineroar, Amoonguss, Rillaboom, continue pivoting and putting yourself into a position where Xerneas can finally set up safely. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, again, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. You could go check out my other social medias as well, such as my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Twitch channel where I do live stream. Really does help out there. And of course, try out the rent a code. But otherwise, yeah, let me know what you thought about the team. But otherwise, that's going to be it. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.